Well, hi, kids. I am so excited to get to see you tonight and talk to you about the next lesson in our series entitled Alien Kids Living a Life That Is Out of This World. We are on our 5th week of this fun series, and it is leading us up to Halloween because it's a fun time of the year, isn't it? To think about being an alien. It kind of goes along with Halloween. And tonight we are talking about phoning home. Have any of you watched the movie E.T.? Well, let me tell you, when I was about 6 years old, E.T. was a big deal. And there's a wonderful part in the movie where E.T. says, E.T. phone home. Do you remember that maybe? Maybe you've heard that before. Well, that is the theme for our lesson tonight. Now, E.T. was phoning home to his home somewhere else in the universe, right? And when you think about your Christian faith, when you think about God and Jesus, who might you be phoning home to? Your mom and dad, maybe. But if we're thinking about our faith, yes, you might be phoning home to God. That's exactly right. And another way to say that would be that you phone home to God by praying or talking to God, right? Yeah. So that's what we're going to be learning about tonight. And to start us out, we're going to talk about our Bible story from 1 Kings chapter 18. And I've got our little Toy Story alien here to help us out. Are you going to help us with our story? All right. If you remember, every time you hear our main character's name, and today his name is Elijah, you're either going to stand up or you're going to sit down, depending on if you're standing or sitting. Or you can raise your hand and put it down. But here is our fun story. Think if you can hear how Elijah phones home. Okay? All right, get your listening ears on. This Bible story comes from the book of 1 Kings chapter 18. And the people of Israel were God's chosen people. But they made a huge mistake. They chose to start worshiping a false god called Baal. Elijah was a prophet of God who knew that our God was the only true God. Elijah knew that the only way he could get Israel to realize their mistake was to prove that God was the one true God. One day, Elijah told the king of Israel, Ahab, tell your 450 prophets of Baal to meet me on Mount Carmel. So King Ahab did just that. When the prophets of Baal got there, Elijah spoke to the crowd of people who had gathered. He said, if the Lord is God, follow him. If Baal is God, then follow him. Then Elijah told the prophets of Baal, go get 2 bulls for us. Choose one for yourself and put it on the wood, but do not set it on fire yet. I will prepare the other bull and put it on the wood, but not set fire to it. Then you call on the name of your God, and I will call on the name of the Lord. The God who answers by fire is the real God. They did just as Elijah had asked. They took a bull and put it on a pile of wood. Then the prophets of Baal began to shout loud, dancing all around their altar. But Baal did not answer. So Elijah said, shout a little bit louder, maybe your God's asleep. Then the prophets of Baal shouted and danced even more. Elijah continued to make fun of them, and they even started to cut themselves in order to get Baal's attention. Baal didn't answer. After all, he wasn't real. He would not answer when they called on him. So then it was Elijah's turn. Elijah commanded the people to pour water all over the bull. They did. In fact, they did it a total of 3 times. Elijah was making sure that when God answered, no one would think it was an accident. Then Elijah quietly prayed, Lord, answer so that these people will know that you, O Lord, are God. Elijah called on God. Do you think God answered? Of course God did. No sooner had Elijah called on God when suddenly fire fell from heaven and consumed the bowl. The wood, even the water in the trenches around the altar was gone. God answered Elijah's prayer. The people recognized that God was God, the one real God. And they shouted, the Lord, He is God. The Lord, He is God. Today, we learn that when we call on God, God will always answer, no matter what situation we find ourselves in. So keep on listening to how we are told to phone home to God. Did you like that story? I did too. It was pretty awesome, wasn't it? Yeah. Hey, give me a high 3. Haha, thanks for being a part of our story today. All right, are you going to come over here and listen while we finish up? All right. Well, what did you think of that story? Did you listen and hear how Elijah phoned home to God? When did he do that? That's right. When he said to God, send down your flame so these people will know that you are the one true God. Through this story, we learn that no matter where you roam, no matter where you are, you can always phone home to God. God is always on the other line, ready to hear you. And our scripture lesson today is from Psalm 91:15. And it says, when they call on me, I will answer them. When they call on me, I will answer them. Sometimes God answers us in the ways that we expect God to answer us, right? And then there are other times when it seems like maybe God doesn't answer us the way we want. But I can tell you, we are told in Scripture and we know that God will always answer us, even sometimes when it's not the way we expect. But God's always there listening. So I want you to know that just like you can pick up your phone and call your mom or dad or grandma or grandpa, you can also phone home to God. Do you need to have a telephone to do that? No, because God's always with you, right? So you can just start up a conversation and you'll be talking to God. That's exactly right. There's no right or wrong way to do it either. No, you don't have to fold your hands and put your head down. You can talk to God anytime. Sometimes I talk to God while I'm driving my car. There'd be no way I could fold my hands and close my eyes, right? That's right. That's right. Do you know that when you are in trouble, you can call God, you can phone home? You can. That's a pretty good time, a really good time to phone home is when you're in trouble. Do you know sometimes when you don't know what to do and you just wonder, what is the right thing? You can phone home to God about that too. You can. When you need wisdom, you can phone home to God and ask God, what do you think? What do you think I should do in this situation? And then do you know what you need to do next? You need to listen. Yeah, that's right. You need to listen. And another time that you can phone home to God is when you just want to let God know how much you love God. That's what this says. It says, when you want to say, I love you, I can phone home to God. Yeah. When are the times that you love God? What makes you realize that you love God? Yeah. Maybe when you love your family member, when your family member does something nice for you or gives you a hug, then you can tell God that you are so thankful, that you are so thankful to have that person in your life. Yeah. Those are all wonderful times to phone home to God, to pray, to have a wonderful conversation. Prayer is just having a conversation with God, and you can do that at any time. You don't have to be anywhere special or do anything specific. Anytime you want to talk to God, God is there with you. You can be an alien kid, a kid who lives a life out of this world by phoning home to God. And I hope that you'll do that some this week. I also hope that you will join me on Sunday from 2 to 4, October 25th, from 2 to 4 in the church. Is it 24 or 25? I think it's the 25th, actually. Sorry, October 25th in the church parking lot. It's a Sunday. It's the drive-through Boo. You're going to drive into the church parking lot from the south entryway and then come up to the covered area, and that's where I'll be with some candy for you. We're going to have some other cars there who have decorated the backs of their trunks so you can see that, and you're just going to stay in your car. You can get dressed up. I would love to see you in your Halloween costume if you have one, and then drive through, and we will have a very safe way to celebrate Halloween with you. I hope that you will stop by and check that out on Sunday from 2 to 4. Have a wonderful week, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.